Britain's most famous UFO case has a strange problem. The more you look at the location, the less it feels random. Because Rendlesham Forest was not just some quiet patch of woodland in Suffolk. It sat right beside RAF Woodbridge and RAF Bentwaters, American air bases, Cold War bases. And just down the coast was Orford Ness, one of Britain's strangest military test sites. So before we ask what the airmen saw in the trees, maybe we should ask what was being tested around them. In December 1980, US Air Force personnel reported strange lights near Rendlesham Forest. Some said they saw a glowing object. Some reported marks on the ground. Radiation readings were later mentioned, and the case became known as Britain's Roswell. But here's where it gets interesting. The Ministry of Defence did look at it. They didn't fully explain it. But they also decided it had no defence significance. No unidentified object was confirmed on radar. So we're left with this awkward middle ground. Something strange enough for trained military personnel to report, but not strange enough, officially, for the government to treat as a threat. That gap is where the theories begin. And one of the most interesting theories is not that aliens simply landed in the forest. It is that Rendlesham may have been connected to electromagnetic technology, radar, high-powered radio frequency systems, microwaves, maybe even some form of non-nuclear EMP testing. Now, before we go any further, this is important. There is no public document proving Rendlesham was an EMP test, so we are not saying that as fact. We are asking whether the geography makes the theory worth testing, because a few miles away was Orford Ness, and Orford Ness was very real and vital place for the British government. It was used for military testing, radar development, weapons research, and atomic bomb environmental trials. Later, it became home to Cobra Mist. Cobra Mist was a top-secret Anglo-American over-the-horizon radar project. Its job was to look far beyond normal radar range. Soviet aircraft, missile launches, satellite activity, the kind of thing you build when the next world war might begin with a signal on a screen. Now, here's the catch. Cobra Mist was officially shut down years before Rendlesham. So the simple version, Cobra Mist caused the UFO incident, does not really work cleanly. The dates do not line up, but that does not kill the bigger question, because Cobra Mist proves something important. This part of Suffolk was already part of a serious Cold War electromagnetic testing landscape. So maybe the better question is not, did Cobra Mist summon and then down a UAP? We should be asking, was Rendlesham connected to a wider military technology story that has never been properly explained? And that is where the EMP angle gets interesting. An electromagnetic pulse can disrupt electronics. High-powered radio frequency systems can interfere with equipment. Radar and microwave systems can create effects that are difficult to understand if you are only seeing the result, not the source. So imagine being an airman in that forest. You are not standing in a science lab. You are not being briefed on exotic military tests. You are seeing lights, movement, something that does not behave the way you expect, and you are right beside one of the most sensitive defense landscapes in Britain. No, that does not prove aliens. But it did make me want to delve into the Rendlesham case further, as in my opinion, something did happen there. If you like this kind of document-led mystery, not just the headline, but the machinery behind it, subscribe to That's a Thing. Because this case is exactly why the details matter. Not because every theory is true, but because the official story often leaves out the most interesting part. With Rendlesham, the usual argument is simple. One side says UFO, the other says lighthouse. Something clearly happened at Rendlesham, but was it a secret test of new technology, downed UAP or mass hysteria and lies? This area of England has a military base, a Cold War test coast, secret radar project, and witnesses who reported something strange enough that the case still has not gone away more than 40 years later. So here's my question for you. Was Rendlesham really a UFO encounter? Was it a misidentified ordinary event? Or was it something colder, a military technology story hidden underneath a UFO story? Comment what you think, because there is a case for either to be true, and please subscribe. That really helps me out, as we are still a tiny channel and would like to reach more people. This is a case that has been mentioned as having a file that may be released by the US government in the current UAP releases that are ongoing at this time. So, fingers crossed we will have some answers in the coming months. Thanks for watching.